Guys, welcome to Plant Pack Podcast, your choice of book reviews and crucial conversations. This is our 68th episode. Yeah. When I read this book by Adesuwa O'man Nwokedi, oh my god, I did not have words. Because I was like, what in the whole wide world universe did I just read? Jeez. I remember sharing this book with sharing my thoughts about this book with a couple of people. We read it like almost at the same time. So we're just like, the thrills of the book are like, oh Jesus, Adesuwa O'man Nwokedi, well done, ma. She really did carry us where we don't know. With this book, this book is such a masterpiece. Welcome to Plant Pack Podcast, your choice hub for book reviews and crucial conversations. My name is Oluwatosin Abiodun-Lisk. I'm your host on the show. This show is brought to you by Plant Pack Educational Consult. Your choice of mental health, your choice of for everything that corroborates your learning, for lifelong learning, for book sales, for trainings, for instructional design, for everything education. You understand? Welcome to this episode. And this episode, we are going to be talking about the book Adanna. Let's first read about the author. Investment banker by day, romance writer by night, Adesuwa O'man Nwokedi began writing by accident, and what started as a few scribbles for friends has led to 15 titles and counting. A self-described hopeless romantic, when she's not creating new characters, she's a loving wife and mom of 3. Mrs. Adesuwa O'man Nwokedi, how are you doing this thing? How are you doing your investment banking? Because I know she's on LinkedIn, like she is an investment banker. How are you doing it? Wow, well done. Really, really do admire you, and your mom of 3 kids. Well done. And you write, and she writes so beautifully. Well done. No, we shall get there. I believe that there is grace for every phase of life, and when I get there too, I have grace. I've received grace. Oh my God. So Adanna, a story of love, loss, and revenge. So how do I pick this book up? In short form, this book is 34 chapters. Yes, 34 chapters. The end is 34 chapters. So yes, it's a book of 34 chapters. The body, from chapter 1, the body, the beauty, the aftermath, the decision, the wedding, the wives, the fear, the attack, the father, the son, the new normal, the other son, the sleepwalker, the mourners, the return home, the gardener, the affair, the tragedy, the mature woman, the doctor, the seductress, the escape, the retribution, the recovery, the curse, the prisoner, the return, the prodigal children, the mourning after the murderer, the confession, the woman scorned, the mourning, the inferno, and then the end. Adanna. So Adanna, let me just give you the short form of the story, and then we'll probably go through chapter by chapter and extrapolate lessons. So Adanna is the firstborn of the parents, the proper Igbo girl. The father has a shop. The mother also assists in the shop, you understand? And it's like a family business. Long and short, the mother wasn't around for some time. So they usually take loans to... The father sells flour, sugar, ingredients for making bread, basically. So what happened eventually was that the father took a loan, and, you take loan, you'll pay back, you take loan, you pay back. By the way, that's one of the things I'm unlearning, really. Loans are not entirely bad, you understand? But they could actually, ruin people. But loan can be a good business thing, even grants, you understand, depending on the kind of business you're doing. So, as much as maybe for my business, loan may not be something I would consider, right? But they are not entirely a bad idea. Just thought to mention that. So, anyways, what happened to Adanna was that the father took a loan. And then, see how excited I am talking about this book. The father took a loan And before you could say Jack Robinson, they got a supplier. You understand? They got a supplier. I said supplier. They've got a customer that was buying in large quantities. Then one day, so the person that was buying was actually the manager of a bakery, you understand, in a bigger town. So what happened is that they now found out that the father had just gotten a fresh set of loan, and then the customer wasn't coming forth, and he was already panicking and everything. So one day he was already panicking. So in the middle of that, the first time that person came with a young man, and like Adanna, as a 16-year-old young girl, fell in love with this man, and the man loved her, and then the guy disappeared. Apparently, the guy disappeared and he didn't come back again. So anyway, so when the deal now like messed up and it didn't work out the way they were expecting to work out, one man now came and said, I just came to do you the honors of telling you that the person that was buying from you actually was stealing from my father. My father is owner of the bakery. The person was stealing from my father, and the person has been sacked. And since the person was buying from you at a very inflated price, that means that no more sales for you guys. And that must have been sad, because you remember that it was loan that the father collected for all those products. So it was a question of who is going to buy all of these things. First of all, my own lesson from this is, as much as possible, don't put your egg in one basket. One client, it's almost always ends in trouble. Like, I realized that, at some point I was wondering how sometimes we make sales in Plant Path, and then the sales weren't very recurrent. Then I attended women's incubator program, and one of the business courses was telling me that our business is a margin business. So it's like, you make one sales that covers up, you understand, for all your expenses that you have incurred. So we had to think of a margin business that we could, a volume business that we could do that could bring in money. So that's how we started book sales. So having one client will not work. Even one source of income, one source of business, one product line that brings all the income. What if something happens? So that's a lesson I learned from reading that book. Ironically, I think when I was reading the book, it was right about the same time I was at the business course, so it made more sense to me. So anyways, the guy that came to now say the news, right, now started acting like he liked Adanna, but Adanna was like, who is this ruffian, get out. Apparently, that one is the step brother of the guy one that first come to the shop, you understand, that Adanna fell in love with. But that one went to England for school, and he didn't come back, you understand. Actually, he had been sending letter to the step senior brother, to give Adanna, but that one being a babele made sure that Adanna didn't get the letters. So to Adanna, it was like, the person I fell in love with, and we seemed to connect. The person just ran away. So but in my own mind, I'm like, this guy that is sending letters to the senior brother, the step senior brother, sure, the guy did not know that the guy is a very wicked fellow before sending letter through him. This story would have just been different if this guy used his sense and sent the letter to another person. You understand? Like, you just send the letter through another person. It would have been better. It would have honestly been better than, you understand, having that. So what they call it? This Adanna, the younger brother, is what they call it, Jidena, and then the younger sister is Hauna. You understand? AHUNNA. So anyway, so from there, so now, so from there, when Anayo came, so Anayo is the younger brother, you understand. Anayo is a fine brother that had just come, that had come before. That was Anayo. I think the other brother is Akuna. So what happened, right, is that apparently, this story, you get plenty leg. You get plenty leg, but I will try to say it one after the other, you understand? So that was like, so when Anayo, sorry, I was reading something from the book, you understand? So Anayo is the younger brother. Akana is the beast of the elder brother, step elder brother. So anyway, so what happened, right, is that when this Akana came to tell them the story that they are not going to buy from them, the father just was sick immediately. He went to make a call at night, you understand, to explain to the wife what had happened, and he took the loan without telling the wife. Anyways, where he was making the call, he slumped and he died, and that was very painful. Imagine Adanna was home with the shop assistants and was at the shop, saw what happened, and immediately the whole thing just degenerated to the father dying immediately. That must have done something to her mind mentally, to just believe about, that must have scarred her really, looking at it. So from there, mother came back from the village. And was very unhappy. In fact, was cursing out because the father obviously left alone for her, and she had to pay back and everything. So eventually they mourned, took care of the father, took care of the father's corpse, buried him and everything. And that was a sad experience. So after the burial, before the loan sharks now came back, the loan guys came back and was like, our money, you understand, that kind of thing. And he was like, which money you grab? And then the story now started developing, K-leg and all of that. By the time the mother now surged and was woke up, it seems like maybe we should find who to buy these things. They went to the shop and found out that the shop boys had actually stolen from them, stole. So the people in the community, in the market, said, we thought that you were the ones that actually sent these boys, you understand? So the guys, they knew the condition of what was happening. They stole from them. There was no way they could see them, where they were living, where Adanna and her family knew they were living. They had moved from there and they were just left in a state of disarray. So before you judge Adanna, right, it's nice for you to understand this background of things that have been happening, you understand? She wanted to become an engineer, an aeronautic engineer. She had she had big dreams for herself and all of that. All of a sudden, she wanted to become an engineer with NASA, right? An aerospace engineer. So all of these lofty dreams just died down, just fell crashing within her, in front of her. Then the loan sharks now started disturbing the mother. Then the mother was kind of I think that was what she knew. She now slept with the person, hoping that the person will forgive her for the loans. The person now started embarrassing her. So you can imagine all of those things happening. I've seen things happen like this to people that they just want to leave the house. They are not. Someone told me recently about someone that the father was beating. I learned about a case that the father was just beating. Even as an adult, the father would just beat, you understand? Pour his frustration on her. And then when she came of age, she wasn't even bothered about the quality of man that she wanted to get married to. She just wanted to leave the house for her own sanity, you understand? And that's how trauma just goes from one generation to the other, because it's not like she has a good job or she's in a great position in life, you understand? She just wants to leave the house. So anyways, that's how Adanna's mom was in the old mess. Jidena was already learning mechanic, and then the youngest sister was very sick, you understand? She had kidney issues and she was just deteriorating. There was no more shop again. What would happen was everything the mother could do, sweep, clean here and there. Adanna was even trying to look for work as a shop assistant, you understand? So it was everything she could do, right? Nothing good was coming forth, you understand? So before this, I missed a part. So when they were trying to look for someone to sell, Adanna now traced the bakery that used to buy things from them. Now happened to be the father of Anayo and this Akana, you understand, their father's bakery. So they went there and they greeted the man. Apparently, this shameless elderly man had an eye for Adanna. So he now promised that he was going to help them. But by the time they got to the shop, they found out that the things had been stolen. So there was nothing they could do. But this elderly, very annoying man, because it's like, if you help this person, it's not going to cost you anything. Like, it won't remove anything significant from your wealth. Why not just help the person and just remove their... I don't know if I sound naive in this world, right? But that's like what I would have expected that this man would do. But he had other plans. He obviously wanted to marry Adanna, that young girl. Imagine that Baba Agbalagba. God forgive me. It's like that politician and that young girl that starts with RD, then D, that married the elderly man. You know, there is this Regina Daniels, let me just say it and tell you, Nwoko. Somebody said it online that what will Regina's mother call Teddy Nwoko? Is he my son-in-law or my father-in-law? Because the man is like a father to herself. God forgive me. So it was that kind of situation that Adanna found herself inside now. And before you knew it, it was like there was no other option. And then it was like marry chief. Marry chief was like, he will pay off the debt and then he will take care of the younger sister. Then one of her aunties said something. See, right? Sometimes the solution to our problems may not be the logical thing to do. Like, it may not please our emotions. It may not even please our logic, but that's where the solution is. The aunt was telling her, that's the father's younger sister, I guess. The father's sister was telling Adanna's mother that, see, don't destroy the life of one child because you are trying to save another child's life. What you're supposed to do is to just allow this girl die and let Adanna continue with her life. They say, no, let her take care of the daughter. She didn't like the idea, and eventually she kind of didn't want to be friends with that Adanna's aunt again. But anyways, good riddance to bad rubbish. Follow the story. So eventually what happened is that Adanna married this chief to save her family. And being someone that had to sacrifice a lot for people, right? Me, and just I can in a way understand how Adanna would have felt. You understand? She just felt like she was the savior. But life has also taught me that, yeah, you're supposed to give your all for people, your family, do your best for them, not give your all. Just do your best and everything. The truth is that people will be alright without you. That's the gospel truth. People will just be alright without you. Whether their lives can be better, but you don't have to sacrifice your life for people. So because eventually what happened is that she married the chief. Now as I'm talking now, I'm in chapter 5, the wedding. She married chief, and then the marriage was so awkward. Imagine that kind of small girl. The aunt was obviously not happy with what was happening. The mother was like, you're doing this for your sister. I kind of convinced her. I wish that she was older, right, to make that decision by herself. She was maybe 25. But she was very young, and she was just coerced into doing that in a way, whitewash, you understand, that kind of thing. So that was the wedding. They did the wedding and she left. Chief came with his people and he was very happy to marry the bride, the fine girl, and that was it. So now she got to Chief's house. Chief was very happy, treating her well and everything. When she got there, she now found out that Chief had a girlfriend. So apparently, the girlfriend looked very ugly and manly. So if you listen to our last week's episode on the mountain issue by Brianna West, she was talking about self-sabotage, that sometimes people do things that you can't just explain, what's up with this person. But when you look at it, you find out that they're actually doing things that satisfy they're doing things that satisfy their innermost desires, that meets their innermost needs, you understand? That just feels a need on the inside of them. So, Chief actually had a wife before, and she was everything. The mother didn't like the wife, obviously. That wife is the one that gave birth to that Akana. That one now died, you understand? And then they now tried to marry a wife for him that gave birth to the other two children, inside. And then after, he's had wives after. I think he had the third wife, that one that looks womanly. So the what Anayo's mother, and then the daughter's mother, he didn't like them. You understand? He has just always been like that. He didn't like the person. So he just feels like he has to marry a very ugly woman, kind of, so that he won't like the person, and the person is just meeting a need. You understand that? I mean, the man is a monster himself, by the way. So when she got there, she I think, I don't even know if they asked questions, right? Because when she got there to the house, that was when she now discovered that things is supple, not all that glitters is gold. Anyways, that glitters is gold. So by chapter 7, so of course that's the girlfriend that used to come. Before you know it, she now found out that the chief had not even slept with her yet. They said he was preserving her. Before you knew it, Chief was bringing girlfriends to the house, and it was like, what's happening? Chief will come back late, rather. Chief will come back and say, where is this man always going? The man will say bakery. She would only come when go to him when he sent for her. I don't know what kind of marriage is that, but what did somebody expect? Then chapter 8, before you knew it, that Adanna now attacked her in the room and started like beat her up, raped her. Remember, she was a virgin, raped her and everything. Then Ugochi knew, right? That Ugochi is like the head of all the maids in the house, and she was living in the basement with her husband and her child. So Ugochi knew, and it was very painful. You understand? Like, it was like, wow, like she was raped in her husband's house. Chief left her, they had traveled. So when Chief came back and wanted to sleep with her, found that she was not a virgin, and then beat her up mercilessly. So imagine. So now we're on chapter 9. Is that like the father, the son, both of them were sleeping with her, and it was very traumatic for her. I mean, she had to stop going to school so that she could save her family. It was not like, why was she even living? Like, why was she in this whole equation? It was very painful for her, and I can imagine how she would have felt. So she was sleeping with father and son. Anyways, that now became a new normal. Like, the Adanna would beat her up, like beat the hell out of her. You understand? Beat her up, and then she was just in the house doing what? They would give her food when she used to go out. Give her food. She doesn't go out of the house. She was just there. I can imagine how depressed. I can just, like, at some point when I was reading this book, I was like, Adanna, if you are fine, blink twice. Like, at some point when I was reading the book, I was like, Adanna, blink twice in this book. Just blink in this book for me. Blink twice if you need help, because I was like, this girl, she had gone through a whole lot had even gone through herself. How can somebody endure this kind of emotional and psychological pain at the same time? Nah, it's too much. I mean, and for it shows that people go through things in life. That's why we have to be kind to people and not just judge. You don't know what is happening, just judge the situation. That's not nice at all. So anyways, by the time Anaya came back home, the Anaya, Anaya is the second son, right? The one that he first met. That one, like, so Adanna now did it like he was raping her. It was a time that he was in the room with her that at the Anaya came and saw her. I was like, oh my God, you are the one that my father married, and you're sleeping with this Adanna. Like, Anaya was so angry and surprised. You understand? It was not like, So it was there that she now knew that the guy would be sending her letters. That nonsense elder step-brother had been the one keeping the letters, and she didn't know what the guy was sending to her, which was very painful to her. Anyways, so I mean, he was very angry and just left and never actually really returned to the house. Before you knew it, chapter 12, she started sleepwalking. You understand? And I think it's a neural problem. Like, it's a problem she did, like, that just happened as a result of what was happening to her and the house. You understand, that kind of thing. So that just happened. She started sleepwalking and all of that. So she started sleepwalking. By the way, you understand, By the way, right, what happened was that Chief took care of the sister, flew abroad, some kidney this and that. But there was a time I kind of even wanted to sleep with her. I was like, if you don't sleep with me, I will start the process of your sister's surgery and everything. So she cooperated and slept with him. Anyways, what happened is that by chapter 13, the sister died. What the aunt said eventually happened. So she was like she's sleeping with father and son, and the second son is her first love, and she's in this kind of mess because she was trying to save the sister. Now the sister is dead, and she was like, she said, as the reality of what I had just been told sank in, I found myself feeling nothing, absolutely nothing. In what must have been a sudden wave of conscience and sympathy, Chief led me to the house, followed closely by my visiting relatives, and I allowed him. Because, that's not the normal thing he does to her. He's not that kind to her. Anyways, she now said, once in my room, I locked the door and just stared into nothingness. Auntie Uloma's words ringing in my ears. If you had listened by now, yes, Auna would have been long dead. But at least we would have definitely paid coach off. That's the loan shag. I would have finished school and maybe made it to the university. Worst case, I would have learned a trade and probably got him married. So she was like, it was so pathetic that she gave it all up for her sister, and then the sister eventually died. You understand? So she went back home, mourned with her mother, and you understand. So when she gave her some money and everything. You understand? So when that happened, she was like, is there a reason for her to return to Ojiji? That's the village that she lives in with Chief, the ranch. And the mother was like, the mother was like, Chief is your husband. She's like, what's bank care? You understand? So it was not like, the mother was like, he has been good to us. I say, no, it's me that has been sending you money. It's not Chief. Like, is it really worth it and everything? So she tried to stay back. She actually stayed back for some time. She tried to get a job, things were not just well. Someone that didn't have a certificate. And then before you know, she was looking very dark. And then one time she was walking on the road. One guy saw her and picked her up to help her. And then she was even happy that a young guy was looking her way. Apparently, the way the village, like suburban settings can be. Our society, even in Nigeria generally, people went to tell the guy gist, and then he stopped talking to her. So she was like, she went back to the, what they call it. She went back to Ojiji eventually, understand. So the brother Jidena didn't want her to go back, understand. But she understand, the brother didn't want her to go back, but she felt things were not right, you understand. And then and then it was the guy that picked her up that I wanted to pick her up for lunch, and then the guy didn't come, you understand. So anyway, so one day she went out looking for a job. She came back and then she saw that the what they call it. She came back and she found out that there was a man in the house with the mother, and that really pained her, you understand. So that was what really mattered, you understand, that kind of thing. So eventually she was like, this one, the mother has a man in the house, maybe multiple men. People look at the mother that she's an ashewo and stuff like that. She was like, maybe the best thing for her to do was actually to just return to Ojiji. So she went back to Ojiji. Chiazoka, that is the manly boyfriend of Chief, you understand, saw her and was kind of like laughing at her, and she was like, whatever, she's back. So she slept well, you understand, that kind of thing. And then she reunited with Izochi, and things were, you understand, were okay like that, you understand. Things were okay for some time and everything. So then after she went back, she felt like she no longer what do you call it? She no longer slept with. She wasn't afraid of Adanna again. And before you knew it, she was out trading. She now told Adanna that you have to be giving her money. You understand, like that. The guy started giving her money to have sex with the father's wife. Anyways, so later she now found out that Chief was bringing Isioma, that's Chiazoka's daughter, into the house. You understand? Chief was bringing the girlfriend's child to the house. Eventually, what even happened to that one was that she died. The mother ran mad, and it was a very traumatic episode for her. You understand? So let's move towards the end of the book. So she was, different things had happened. Chief was not even like looking at her again, and she was very deeply unhappy in her life at that time. So fast forward. Eventually, Chief, they said Chief died. So it was a question of who killed Chief, and everything. In the middle of trying to find out, so Adanna thought that because she's a sleepwalker, she thought that she was the one that killed Chief. You understand? But people were like, no, her story didn't add up. So before that, she actually met a doctor, the hospital in the, what they call it. She met one guy in the village that she liked, that was working in. She had a garden in Chief's house. You understand? So she had a gardener there was a gardener that she really liked. A day before she was supposed to leave for just with the guy. The guy's family was burnt down. The guy and his family burnt down their house and everything, and it was so obvious it was Chief that did it. So after then, Chief was restricting her and all of that. So like she felt really, really lost and unhappy. So eventually, after that, now she now met a doctor. So this doctor was working in the village hospital. So she took the doctor's father had been giving her a lot of pills, sleeping pills, and everything that might have even affected her psychologically. You crap. So the doctor was like, no need for all of these pills, attended to her well, and she was actually happy and fine for some time. So she now said that she was going to be doing sexual work with the man. You understand? The Chief was like, if he keeps her busy, yes. So Chief traveled that time, and she really liked the doctor, wanted to even seduce him, and the man wasn't looking at her side. Anyways, around that time, when the doctor and Adanna were really getting close to each other and everything, what happened was that Chief's, how did I call it? Then Akana now beat her up like as per usual, slept with her, and she was so badly beaten that they had to take her to the hospital. So the doctor took care of her very well and all of that. I don't even know how this chief man gets his gist, but people like that now. So he knew that something was happening between Adanna and the doctor. Before he knew it, the hospital was attacked. They even met somebody there that they thought was the doctor. They beat the guy to a pulp, and the other guy had to just like run away for some time, lie low. So eventually, Chief was killed now, and the gist did not arrange that it was Adanna that killed Chief. You understand? And then the father of the boy that Chief that she wanted to run with to just said that she was. I mean, a lot of people wanted that Chief dead. Trust me. A lot of people wanted that Chief dead, really. So the father of the boy went to the police and said that he was the one that killed Chief. He said, how? Now said, he told this God to kill Chief because Chief is a bad person, wanting. He said, I beg, please step one step. You're not the one that killed this man. Just forget it. Let's interrogate other people. So eventually, they now realized that Ugochi, that is what they call it. Ugochi, the chief of all the maids in the house, she was not around. Say, what happened? And then that was the chair. And then what happened that time was that they now found out that Uzochi, that's her name. They now found out that Uzochi's husband, actually what happened is that the man had like a fell from palm tree and like he couldn't stand and everything. So that man, he has been in the basement of the house that Chief gave the man. So apparently sometimes the man will shit, as in that was very disgusting. He will mess himself and everything, and there will even be maggots. That woman will not clean her up. That woman will not clean her up at all. So like the woman was actually a wicked person. She was not as nice as she claimed she was. Apparently she was sleeping with Chief, and that child that is her child is not actually for the husband, it's for Chief. So what happened eventually was that, and Chief was actually, you remember that Chief was dating Chiazoka and the daughter that now eventually died before Chiazoka now became mad. Do you know that actually Chief was also dating Uzochi and then the daughter? So when Uzochi found out was when she got really livid and everything. So the husband now even told Adanna that sometimes Chief will even come to the basement and come and sleep with her in front of him. Can you imagine, since he cannot stand up or do anything? Anyways, that's even by the way. Eventually, they didn't find Uzochi. So they now started looking for her. They were going from one park to the other, like, you understand, like people that traveled. Do you know that Adanna actually now saw, see, there's a way life makes you that you really become compassionate, whether you like it or not, in some ways, or you can choose to become compassionate or not. Adanna now saw Uzochi inside one of those, like all those buses. You understand? They thought that she would be going to Lagos. She saw her in the bus that was going to like a different place, to the north. She saw her, their eyes met though, but Adanna did not report her. She said, she too has gone through a share of issues with Chief, and Chief was also not nice to her, was also not kind to her. So I mean, good riddance to bad wishing. She didn't tell Chief. So it's left to you to decide whether she should have actually called Uzochi out and made them arrest her and stay in prison for the rest of her life, or allowed it to go. Even the children were like, whatever, Jare. I mean, this man was a bad man after all. So eventually, Chief, they now read Chief's will. The whole ranch, they gave it to Adanna. Adanna was so happy. You understand? And then she had not been in touch with the doctor. So later, when she was able to contact the doctor, the plan was that they would sell the house and then run away, So now, there was already an agreement to sell the land, the house, and everything. Next thing, that's how Akanna, the last night, it was only her. So Akanna just came into the room in the middle of the night, set the house on fire actually, and wanted to kill, what's her name? Adanna. That part, I was like, nothing should happen to my Adanna. That girl, that woman, she's not a woman, of course. She was in her mid-30s or so by that time. So that nothing must happen to her, Bego. And she didn't even have any child for Chief and everything. I mean, somebody shouldn't even be thinking about having a child in the middle of that kind of rubbish mess. So anyways, eventually what happened was that Akanna was, in the end, what happened was that Akanna now was trying to kill her and everything. So one of the staff, right, that had gotten some money from Chief's inheritance, will and everything, that was supposed to go to Lagos. He was supposed to leave for Lagos. He said he was already on his way. He now saw that Akanna was coming to the house. I was like, this guy is a bad fellow. He doesn't have anything good. And by the way, when Akanna even married Seth, he was very bad to the wife as well. I think she had sons, right? All her children are boys. She had sons that she was always looking very unhappy. So Adanna Loki felt for her that this Akuna must be a really, really bad person, torturing you and all of that. Anyways, so what happened is that Akanna, that staff actually came back to the house, and when Akanna started the house on fire, he was there to call help, and then they were able to get Adanna to the house, out of the house. So the doctor was not in the fire, and Adanna was like, I beg, she would rather burn, burn, than for the doctor to burn, and she would not be able to do anything. Last, they were actually even trying to drag Akanna out. Akanna chose to die in the fire, and was like, who just bad rubbish? I mean, his father is not like he's a good person, and his assistance is just even being a tyrant to people. They shall burnt down the house. The house got burnt down. They were able to, you understand, they were able to resuscitate, what they call it, the doctor. The doctor felt better, and after some time he went back to the abroad, to the US, and then before he knew it, later Adanna was able to join him there, and she was able to sell the house. The person that wanted to buy it was he was even going to pull down the structure that was in the house, so no problem. So they still sold the property to the person, and they used it, and then they now went abroad. Then before he knew, the mother now came to do omugwo for her, and she was already pregnant for the second child. When they now came to Nigeria, You understand? She said, let her even go to that OGG, so she can even heal completely from everything that happened. They've turned the house to a ranch, to a big hotel, you understand? And that's how Adanna and the doctor lived happily ever after. That movie, this book was just a lot of emotions. Like, I mean, I was at some point, when you are reading a book, I couldn't do any other thing. That's the Adesuwa O'man Nwokedi effect. I couldn't do anything until I finished reading this book. So, good book. I will rate it and already 8.5 over 10. That's what I'll rate it, because it's a really good book. It's a really, really good book. Well done, ma. Well done. You're doing very well. Thank you for listening to this book review of Adanna by Adesuwa O'man Nwokedi. Excellent book. Thanks for listening. Oh my God, 40 minutes plus. Once it's an Adesuwa O'man Nwokedi book, I'll just keep on talking. My name is Oluwatosin Abiodun Leaks, aka Auntie Tisa, aka Tosin Leaks. I'm your host on the show, Plan Path Podcast. Your choice for book reviews and crucial conversation. By the way, we've been since 2021, and there are so many amazing books on this book. On this podcast, so go just scroll down, look for a book that just addresses your need in your area of life, and just enjoy this book. Enjoy Enjoy this podcast. Share with your friends. Brought to you by Plan Path Educational Consult. Your choice for lifelong learning, corroborating our curriculum, lifelong learning to help people to learn all through their lives. We do this through book sales, trainings, consulting, instructional design, and our podcast. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Bye, y'all.